this is Jared. This is just a little quick blurb on my advertisements. I have iHerb, Remedylink. I have direct support for my Red Circle, which is my new host. As well as for every episode, I'll try to include relevant affiliate links, as well as my coaching as well. Please check them out. There's no obligation to donate or click or anything, but they really help support this podcast, and I'd really appreciate that. Hey everyone, this is Jared. This is our obligatory sponsorship audio blurb. This is just to tell people that I use Anchor. It's an awesome app. You can use it on, I believe, iPhone, Android, or your computer, and it's all connected, your account. It's very easy to do. You can make money from it, and there's no minimums. There's nothing to sign up for or pay for. And it automatically distributes it to a bunch of different platforms as well, too. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a lot more. The app is available on the iTunes Store, Android, and you can also go to the website, which is anchor.fm, to get started. Hey everyone, been meaning to do more episodes lately. Just a lot been going on health-wise, and I was scheduled to interview someone recently, but then I just didn't really feel well, and so I had to cancel it. But I thought I would do kind of a solo one. Actually, before I start, please check out the affiliates and sponsors below in the show notes and in the description on the YouTube video. I may introduce more in the future. I've been trying different supplements out. I really like Dow Labs. I may try to become an affiliate of that. I was scheduled to kind of do one with someone, but I just didn't really feel well, so I canceled it. I do have an upcoming one in about a month from now with a fairly big podcast with about 10,000 more people. And I'm working on that and kind of what I want to talk about. I have some ideas, but it'll be kind of more of a free form. It won't be like question and answer. And they are kind of LGBTQ, however you say that, associated. I mean, I'm not really, but I'm open-minded about that. I'm good with that. But they do talk about kind of like all different kinds of topics and stuff like that, and it'll probably be more my health journey and health related. That being said, what else? So I saw this movie. It was really good. It's on Gaia, and I believe it's also been on Netflix in the past. And it's a documentary. And how it's shot is they talk to some experts, but they also sort of go into the medical history of the director, but it's played by an actor, so it's semi-autobiographical. It's called Root Cause. It starts out with basically this guy in Australia. He's on the beach, and this is in like the 90s, and he's trying to stick up for, I guess, like a woman and her boyfriend, because she's being like yelled at and harassed, and like and this is like on the beach in like public, and basically, so he tries to like break it up, and the guy just kind of sucker punches him and punches him in the face and knocks out a few teeth. He gets those extracted root canals, and then over the years he starts developing fatigue and all these problems, and they sort of do a kind of it has quite a bit of good humor in it, but it goes into all the different modalities, and it kind of reminds me of stuff that I've been through, actually, going through conventional doctors, naturopathic, shaman energy healers, all these different cleanses and all these other stuff, and some of it helps, but it doesn't really like kind of address the root cause of it, which is kind of the point of it. And he goes to some kind of this weird kind of diagnostic thing, and it says it's due to an affected root canal. And so he starts looking into it, and he finds a kind of alternative biological dentist, and finds out that when his root canals were extracted, they weren't done properly, and if they aren't done properly, it can basically form an infection, and you can't feel it because if you don't remove, I believe, the tooth and the periodontal ligament, I believe that's called, it can cause like an infection. It can, and all these teeth, although it's a little bit out there and woo-woo, do lie on these different energy meridians and acupuncture points. And so these can affect and cause health problems all over the body. They can cause fatigue, they can cause all these other problems. And so he gets those like properly removed and cleaned, because you have to do it with ozone, and you really have to have someone know what they're doing. And his health improves, but he still has to, do all the other stuff. And he also has to go back again, I believe, because there's infected root canals, which can be from root canals, but there can also even from wisdom teeth, which is something I've done, and it didn't really improve my TMJ, and it can cause like cavitations, which is kind of like from my understanding, it's like cavities, but worse. It's like a hole or kind of infection in the tooth, and that can cause problems too. And so we got those removed, and he still is working on his health. And he has done documentaries on kind of alternative health. I just thought it was really profound. He did say, I thought it was a really good point at the end, that he doesn't think that's the main or root cause of his issues. He thinks that's a big issue, and he thinks toxic load or toxic overload is causing a lot of his problems, which I agree with. I think it's like a combination of things, really. You have to kind of address kind of like the underlying issues, find out kind of what it is, and then you have to address the toxic load. This could be bacterial infections, viral infections, heavy metals, parasites, all kinds of different things, even genetic SNPs and stuff that affect methylation and detoxification. But I would really recommend checking out. It's called Root Cause. It came out, I believe, about 2 or 3 years ago. I think for a time it was on Netflix. It's on Gaia if you have a subscription, or you can even get a free trial. You can probably just, I don't know if you really have to download it, torrent it. But it's worth looking into, especially if you have TMJ issues, or if you have really any kind of health issues, and you've ever gone to just like a normal dentist. And, this is kind of a bit controversial, because mainstream doctors won't really agree with this. And from my understanding is you can't often find these just with a normal kind of dental x-ray that they do. You really have to do like a cone beam scan, and you have to and then you have to kind of look at it too. And they have like some kind of gross images where they like a live video where they're like pressing on an infected tooth, and there's like pus coming out. So it is a little graphic at times. But typically, if they know what they're doing, I don't know how it is over all around the world. I know in the United States it's not really a recognized specialty, kind of like naturopath, and then there's like conventional doctors. So it's kind of like they have to go through dentists to become a normal dentist or orthodontist, and then they get kind of additional trainer. They kind of focus on holistic alternative dentistry, and they typically won't use any kind of metal implants, because that can affect the energy and the energy meridians. And they typically use ozone, I believe ozone, maybe something else, ozone gas, to kind of clean out the area, and it will also clean out any bacteria and viral in there. I know someone that I look up to, and I learned a lot from Josh Mason. I know he did that, and his health improved quite a bit from that. He does do kind of detox, and he does other stuff. But yeah, it's worth looking into. I'll try to include, or I'll include links below if you're interested in finding one locally. You can just type in holistic or alternative, or even biological dentist. With any practitioner, even conventional or alternative, you do have to kind of do your research. Some are very, very reputable. Some, not so much. So you have to look into it. I don't know if any or all of this is covered by, any kind of managed big insurance. I know that, like if they do decide to go and like kind of remove it and then put an implant in, that's probably going to be costly. I think they typically use zirconium or something that's not really metal to replace it, and they don't use and even they probably are really good with amalgam fillings as well too, which I don't know if you know much about that. I may go into heavy metals and kind of Andy Cutler, what I've done, and whatever kind of research to get rid of heavy metals, because I think that's a pretty big problem. And I was even looking into some past results, and these are years ago, so some may have gone down, but one heavy metal that I was pretty high in, and this was a urine provoke test, so I trust it, but I also know for my symptoms is that my mercury was pretty high, and these can't. And you really have to work on the heavy metals. You have to work on other stuff, but you really have to lower this in order for your health to improve, and also basically so your body can heal itself. Because if you have all these metals deposited and circulating and stuff, your health really won't improve. So anyways, check out the links below. Check out my sponsors. Check out the Biological Dentist. I'll have it all below. And oh yeah, another thing before I go is I have been talking to someone. There is an Amazon Prime movie, and it's sort of related to kind of like fatherhood, but it's also mental health. And so I may talk to the creator of that. He reached out to me on a podcast group I post on, and I follow, and I use these to promote my podcast, but also to find guests, and also people will reach out to me. And I kind of commented to reach out to him, and it seems like I may have him on in the near future. There's still a ton of other guests I'd like to have on, and I'm still looking to be on other, preferably local shows, but I would really anywhere around the world if it's alternative health, philosophy, and spirituality. Even to just talk about kind of my experience with their healthcare system, because that's kind of a long, involved story as well too. And I'm not a fan of the conventional medical system, or I put in a comment recently, lamestream medicine. So yeah, that's about it. Check out all the links. Also, I've been starting to kind of go into it, although I feel I'm still working on my health. I'm not perfect, but if you have any kind of topics or questions, or even if you need kind of like some help with your health, I'm starting to get into some health coaching. I'm not going to like charge a ridiculous amount. I'm going to work with you, even if you just want to kind of do a testimonial, kind of spread the word. Feel free to email me. My email, known for the podcast, is basically Psynautical@gmail.com. It's the name of the podcast, and my book at gmail.com. Feel free to send me an email. I don't really actually get that many emails, and I still use it. I use it mostly for the podcast. But yeah, I'll see you all later, and have a good night or something. Weekend.